So if you notice something different about Miss June and Sunny's aquarium. Good Monday evening. Hope you guys have had a wonderful Monday. I'm down here in the greenhouse and fixing to go in the fish room and check on them. It has been a cooler Monday here. We got to 38 degrees last night. We said we weren't going to burn any more fires in the wood stove inside, and we caved yesterday. It just felt so cold after being in the 80s. So hopefully not too many more days like that. I think tonight's at 38 again. In here, I've not used my pellet stove at all. I've actually covered it up because in April in here, it's warmer than what it is out there. And the night temperatures don't dip as low as 38, even without a stove in here. It insulates pretty good in here. And when we have sunny days, it just kind of radiates from the rock and gravel. It stays pretty warm. Let's go check the fish. Let's see how they're doing today. It's cool out here, but in here, it's pretty warm. It naturally stays warm in here, which is super nice. We are at 70 degrees in here, and it is not that outside. I love how efficient the basement is. I've got brine shrimp going for a nice treat for everybody. I think that it's about ready. I see the eggs, shells up on the top. So, yeah, I'm gonna harvest that and feed to all these little ones. It's time to harvest the brine shrimp, so I do that by collecting some aquarium water first. I'm gonna let this settle for about 10 minutes so all the shrimp can settle to the bottom. Best thing to do is get like a little flashlight and put on the very bottom of the jar, and they'll all kind of migrate down there. And then I'm gonna take this turkey baster and I'm going to retrieve them, and I'm going to get a net. This one works really well because it's really got tight netting, and the baby brine shrimp will not fall through that, and I can just kind of wash them and catch them in here, and then I will be putting them back into this jar with aquarium water. Alright y'all, check that out. See, all of the baby brine shrimp have congregated at this light. Now, as far as making this stuff, I have a bigger canister, but this is what I bought first to see if I would like it. So this is from Aquarium Co-op, and it is got like a 90% hatch rate, which I find that to be true. What I do is I hatch mine in an aquarium. So I put down a mason jar inside of a heated aquarium water. The aquarium water is filled about to there. That way I can put several jars down in there and have several hatching, because obviously my basement is not 78 degrees down here. So I put them down in water, and I can put, like I said, multiple jars down in this one aquarium using one heater. I keep my heater around 78, and I find that my shrimp hatch within 24 hours. And so I can retrieve them the next day. So that is how I do it. Now for the amount, I use a quart jar. I fill it up to right about here where y'all can see. And I use 20 mLs of salt, aquarium salt. And so I just fill it up with plain water. I don't put water conditioner or anything like that. I put 20 mLs of salt, dump it in here, put my eggs in here, however many I think I need. You know, that's kind of subjective on how many fish you have. And then, yeah, then they hatch out. I just go kind of right down to the bottom and suck all of that up. You'll see all those little baby brine shrimp? Now what I do is I put it in my net, and all of the shrimp are in here, and then the salt water drains out, because I don't want to put salt water in my tank. I mean, it would not be, you know, detrimental or anything like that. It wouldn't hurt anything, but if I feed every day, I don't want to keep adding salt to my tank. So this is the way I do it. Some people add the salt in. You know, if you're doing a lot of water changes, eventually it'll come out, but I don't do it that way. Now that is what it looks like. It's like an orangey color. And those are all the shrimp. I just rinse them off and put them down in here. Now if there's any left on the net, I just release them in here because you can see that there are. Look at that. And they are going crazy over them. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up my Monday. Hope y'all have had a wonderful Monday and a blessed Monday. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. Y'all, it's raining and it's cold. I think it's like 47. Brr. I have to head out for a little bit. I've got to go to the chiropractor, and then I think I'm gonna head up to the aquarium store. I've got a few things I've got to get for my fish room. So before I leave, I got to feed the fish really quick and show you guys something I did last night. So if you notice something different about Miss June and Sunny's aquarium, y'all, I took the sand out. I don't know. Sand is not for me, at least for this one-time experience that I had here and the setup I had with it. Now, I've heard people do sand differently. I've heard some other people on YouTube do sand by putting a layer of dirt below it and then the sand. But with my experience, just the sand, my plants melted. They weren't getting the nutrients that they needed. And one of the reasons why I do believe is because all of like the waste products just sit right on top of the sand. Nothing kind of goes down below that surface. So that was, I believe, causing my plants to fail because they weren't getting any nutrients. So I ended up taking those out, and then it just got down to a bare sand aquarium. But one of the biggest problems I was having with sand was the tank was always cloudy. Now, if you notice all of my other aquariums, they're all crystal clear. All of them, except for the baby plecos, because I have a lot of plecos in there, y'all, and they just need some more filtration. And the things that I feed them cloud up the water, but I just do more frequent changes on those just because I have an overabundance of plecos in those tanks. I probably could put another sponge filter in there, and I need to do that. That was another experiment that I was going to try. But as far as her tank goes, I don't know, I kept battling and battling, clouding from the sand. She would get in there and knock it up, and it just made the water cloudy, and even when she wasn't like knocking it around, it was just nasty. And so I did a water change a few days ago, and it looked pretty clear for like a day after, and then it clouded up again. So I don't know. I got over it. I come down here on a whim and I took it out. So what I'm going to do is go up to the aquarium store and find a different substrate to put in here. This was some river rock that I actually purchased in a large bag at a box store. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do kind of some more specialized rock, either something small and smooth. Seth has some really nice rock in his aquarium, and I think that I'm going to go for that. I haven't decided if I want to go for like a dark rock or a light rock. I really don't know until I get up there. So if I get back in time from the chiropractor today, I'm going to head up there and we're going to look around. She's doing good. She's doing fine. As far as goldfish go, you don't want a lot of decoration in the tank. One of the biggest problems is they can rub up against stuff and damage their gills and things like that. So I don't want that to happen. I did have some large smooth rock in here, and I may put those back after I get the substrate in here. And then I also thought about just leaving it a bare tank, but just because it's over on this side, I kind of like to put something on the bottom. It covers up a lot of that mulm that sits there. And Seth's tank is really easy to gravel back, super easy. Actually, to be honest, he rarely ever gravel backs it. His tank is so heavily planted. And I've gotten in there before to see if it sucks up a lot of stuff, and it's really clean in the bottom. So, I don't know. You hear a lot of different opinions on all this stuff, and I think that one true thing doesn't work for everybody. That's just my opinion. So, anyways, I'm going to feed the fish, and I got to head out, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Maybe I'll take y'all up to the aquarium store today. get some of this. Alright, so I made it back. Got some supplies. I got a few plants, Inocarus. Actually, it's kind of a low light plant and it grows pretty quickly. It can be floating or you can put it in the substrate. So I thought that would be a good addition. And I got some gravel. I got more of a smooth, smaller gravel. Now they actually had some super small gravel that was between like the size of sand and this, but I was a little nervous on trying it because they said it was a little bit harder to clean to like get in and gravel back, and I just need something that's quick and that pulls stuff up pretty easily because obviously I have a lot of tanks and I don't want to be doing that, spending tons of time trying to get them clean. If it was just like one tank and I wanted that look, it would be fine, but I'm going to go with this. We're going to try out one tank and see how it does. We're going to put it in Miss June's tank and see. Oh. Getting her exercise. Seth also took his water up there and had a reading on it because he hasn't done a water change in almost a month. And everything looked good, so we were just trying to test it out to see, and all the levels were super great. So it's not even time for a water change. So, you know, because he has a heavily planted tank and a really like thick bed of gravel, it's been a month. Don't have to do a water change, so his can go longer. But like I said, water changes and things like that, there's different variables with that. Gravel washing time. I always wash my gravel, although this stuff is much cleaner than the gravel that I bought at Lowe's. It's still not completely clean though, so I am washing it out really thorough. Just until the water's not cloudy anymore. So I got the gravel changed out. Now the water is a little cloudy because of all the stuff I've been stirring up, and it'll settle, but I'm liking it. It looks different than the gravel that I have in these other tanks. So this is gravel that you would get, pea gravel, from like Lowe's, which I really think it has such a natural look. I like the darker. I have the lighter color down here. Of course, that's just a personal preference. Now, I have the lighter color in my big tank. Y'all, I'm still trying to get this driftwood to sink. Y'all see my rocks still holding it down. It's been quite a while. But I like the lighter gravel in here. I think it looks fine. Now, the difference I've noticed in this gravel is it's much smoother. So, a lot less jagged edges for her to get cut on. Let's move the lighting forward. I put the Inocarus in here. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think, June? Sunny? Y'all like your new flooring? So y'all can see the smoothness of it compared to that. What do y'all think? Which rock do you like better? Let me know. Put your answers in the comments. Do y'all like it better than the sand? Now, of course, this tank is not very planted. So, if she doesn't eat this plant, and it does pretty good, I'll start filling it up. But she eats duckweed like crazy, but she hasn't messed with this at all. So, maybe she's not going to mess with this plant. Alright, guys. I got to wrap it up down here. Got to get inside. Got some dinner to make tonight. I think we're gonna have like a breakfast casserole and maybe some editing, and so I can get this video out to y'all. So I hope y'all have had a blessed day, and I will see you all on the next video.